Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. If you are into consciousness topics and you're wondering, why is she reading this book? Be patient and listen to this. This part is golden. But here I must pause the narrative, my reader, in order to explain a few things and make the whole matter easier to your comprehension. This is necessary because my time is short in which to complete my jacket memoirs. In a little while, in a very little while, they are going to take me out and hang me. Did I have the full time of 1,000 lifetimes, I could not complete the last details of my jacket experiences. Therefore, I must briefen the narrative. First of all, Bergson is right. Life cannot be explained in intellectual terms. As Confucius said long ago, when we are so ignorant of life, can we know death? And ignorant of life we truly are, when we cannot explain it in terms of the understanding. We know life only phenomenally, as a savage may know a dynamo. But we know nothing of life nominally, nothing of the nature of the intrinsic stuff of life. Secondly, Marinetti is wrong when he claims that matter is the only mystery and the only reality. I say, and as you, my reader, realize, I speak with authority. I say this matter is the only illusion. Comte called the world, which is tantamount to matter, the great fetich, and I agree with Comte. It is life that is the reality and the mystery. Life is vastly different from mere chemic matter fluxing in high modes of motion. Life persists. Life is the thread of fire that persists through all the modes of matter. I know, I am life. I have lived 10,000 generations. I have lived millions of years. I have possessed many bodies. I, the possessor of these many bodies, have persisted. I am life. I am the unquenched spark, ever flashing and astonishing the face of time, ever working my will and wrecking my passion on the cloddy aggregates of matter, called bodies, which I have transiently inhabited. For look you, this finger of mine, so quick with sensation, so subtle to feel, so delicate in its multifarious dexterities, so firm and strong to crook and bend or stiffen by means of cunning leverages, this finger is not I. Cut it off, I live. The body is mutilated. I am not mutilated. The spirit that is I is whole. Very well. Cut off all my fingers, I am I. The spirit is entire. Cut off both hands. Cut off both arms at the shoulder sockets. Cut off both legs at the hip sockets, and I, the unconquerable and indestructible I, survive. Am I any the less for these mutilations, for these subtractions of the flesh? Certainly not. Clip my hair, shave from me with sharp razors my lips, my nose, my ears, aye, and tear out the eyes of me by the roots, and there, mewed in that featureless skull that is attached to a hacked and mangled torso, there in that cell of the chemic flesh, will still be I, unmutilated, undiminished. Oh, the heart still beats. Very well. Cut out the heart, or better, fling the flesh remnant into a machine of 1,000 blades, and make mincemeat of it, and I, don't you understand? All the spirit and the mystery and the vital fire and life of me am off and away. I have not perished. Only the body has perished, and the body is not I. I believe Colonel de Rochas was correct when he asserted that under the compulsion of his will he sent the girl Josephine, while she was in hypnotic trance, back through the 18 years she had lived, back through the silence and the dark ere she had been born, back to the light of a previous living when she was a bedridden old man, the ex-artilleryman Jean-Claude Bourdon. And I believe that Colonel de Rochas did truly hypnotize this resurrected shade of the old man and, by compulsion of will, send him back through the 70 years of his life, back into the dark and through the dark, into the light of day when he had been the wicked old woman, Philomene Carteron. Already have I not shown you, my reader, that in previous times, inhabiting various cloddy aggregates of matter, I have been Count Guillaume de Saint-Maury, a mangy and nameless hermit of Egypt, and the boy Jesse, whose father was captain of 40 wagons in the great westward emigration. And also, am I not now, as I write these lines, Darrell Standing under sentence of death in Folsom Prison, and one-time professor of agronomy in the College of Agriculture of the University of California? Matter is the great illusion. That is, matter manifests itself in form, and form is apparitional. Where now are the crumbling rock cliffs of old Egypt, where once I laired me like a wild beast, while I dreamed of the city of God? Where now is the body of Guillaume de Saint-Maury, that was thrust through on the moonlit grass so long ago by the flame-headed Guy de Villardun? Where now are the 40 great wagons in the circle at Nephi, and all the men and women and children and lean cattle that sheltered inside that circle? All such things no longer are, for they were forms, manifestations of fluxing matter ere they melted into the flux again. They have passed and are not. And now my argument becomes plain. The Spirit is the reality that endures. I am Spirit, and I endure. I, Darrell Standing, the tenant of many fleshy tenements, shall write a few more lines of these memoirs and then pass on my way. The form of me that is my body will fall apart when it has been sufficiently hanged by the neck, and of it naught will remain in all the world of matter. In the world of spirit, the memory of it will remain. Matter has no memory, because its forms are evanescent, and what is engraved on its forms perishes with the forms. One word more ere I return to my narrative. In all my journeys through the dark into other lives that have been mine, I have never been able to guide any journey to a particular destination. Thus, many new experiences of old lives were mine before ever I chanced to return to the boy Jesse at Nephi. Possibly, all told, I have lived over Jesse's experiences a score of times, sometimes taking up his career when he was quite small in the Arkansas settlements, and at least a dozen times carrying on past the point where I left him at Nephi. It were a waste of time to detail the whole of it, and so, without prejudice to the verity of my account, I shall skip much that is vague and tortuous and repetitional, and give the facts as I have assembled them out of the various times, in whole and part, as I relive them.